Hi, this is Lucy, and today I'm going to show you how to build this red and white surf shack. For this build you will not need catwalks. I am going to build this without catwalks. However, you will need a flamer trap or a friend in PvP to destroy items. If this is something that you are interested in, please stay tuned. So obviously the inspiration for this was the surf stuff on the scoreboard. I actually started building this a few weeks ago, and the reason it was delayed was because I wanted to get the red surfboards to go with the red and white theme, and they were on the last page, and it took me 5 weeks I think to do the scoreboard. I do not do repeatable XP. I mean, I do collect it when I'm doing my dailies and weeklies if I'm doing events. But I spent so many years in 76 grinding for levels that I did not care about that, yeah, I can't do it anymore. I would rather be playing something new, something that's more interesting or exciting, rather than doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So yes, so this has been delayed slightly because of that, but I am happy with the end result. So, and I had other things to do. I've been putting out a lot of videos, so. Anyway, this location I have built before. It is near Newgad. I have had quite a lot of problems. I think I had them before. I'm not sure I would build this here again, or build something like this here again, because every camp has camp enemies. The camp enemies come from that direction. Sometimes the super mutants down there get triggered and you have every single one of them coming up here. When I was building, I had about 3 turrets out because they were driving me crazy. So I don't necessarily recommend this location. I'll show you where we are on the map. Although this looks like it's full of water, it is now a dried lake bed because somebody blew up the dam. If you don't know that, as part of the quest around here somewhere, there's some stuff about that in the Capitol building. This is Vault 76 and this is Flatwoods, so we are down here. I put this sort of picnic area out here with a fire and a barbecue. I don't know where I got this stash box. It obviously came from a set that I bought recently. I have been buying quite a lot of stuff from the Atoms shop in the last few weeks. There's been lots of new build sets. My bank balance is not very happy, but it had to be done. Just hoping I can afford to put my car through its MOT now. It'll be fine. So this was based on something I saw on Pinterest. I think that was actually a mobile home or something similar in America. We have this sort of little garden area up here. I have put some of these little light boxes out here. They are powered by a generator in here. I have got a big generator merged into the ground. And yeah, I think it gives a nice effect. Now, somebody is going to ask me, because this happened on my last the last build I did here actually, I did a dormer, a faux dormer in a 2x2. They're going to say, why don't you put a skylight in this? The reason I did not put a skylight, a glass roof in here, is because there are 4 roofs underneath it. The 4 roofs that cover the entire building. You can put a glass roof on here, but you will not get the benefit, because there is a quarter of this roof in there, a quarter of this roof, a quarter of this roof, and a quarter of this roof. Meaning this entire section is covered by roofs. And because we do not have quarter roofs, no. I hope that makes sense. Somebody's going to ask, I know it. Right. We have this seating area out here. I was kind of going for a bit of a 60s feel, I guess. I used the circus trailer door. I have made use of chessboards with a few things dotted about. If you saw my chessboard video, it was actually filmed here, and this build was pretty much complete, and I managed to completely hide it in that video. I did not put a cooker on my hob because there's a cooker outside, and I just thought because it's such a small camp it didn't need it. I have my flowers merged into a lamp. I am not convinced about these surfboards. I used this one, which you can just about see. They're curved, which makes sense, they're surfboards, but they just seem odd as shelves. They don't, so I didn't give it a lot of love, to be fair. Just doesn't work for me. The items on it are not floating, but they just don't look right. They don't look straight, so it just bugs me. I have this day bed I built using kitchen counters and the gurney bed. I would have liked to have put the bed lower, but if you put it any lower it will not, you can't use it. So I should have merged the tick pillows a bit lower actually, but by the time I figured that out, by the time I put them on, I'd built this about 4 times and lost the will. So yeah, it was interesting. There's three of these, 3 rows of them. Place your bed on top, merge it down, and then you have to place the bed on the one counter that it's merged to. Flame a trap it, the bed disappears, and then you just build the counters around again. I merged that section down into the foundation and then put 3 behind. So I have done a double merge on chessboards on this one. It was a bit fiddly getting the levels right. This lighthouse comes from the Landview lighthouse. There's a whole pile of them on the ground floor. We have a bathroom. Used a conduit as a shower head. Did not do a foundation merge on this. I actually turned that into a doorway and placed a conduit on a locker to get that at that height. Yeah, I go under it, just checking. So the door does go into the wall. You could use a different door. I just wanted to match the front door. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. It's a fun build. It's very easy to use. I have all my workbenches around the back. I have this faux ladder made from conduits to get up onto the roof. If you're wondering why there are not many fences up, these fences do not snap together. So it's kind of just sort of wanted to give, you know, the impression of a fence without actually trying to do an entire fence. So anyway, I'm quite happy with it. So let's start the build. I'm going to build it along this straight edge. So I'm going to start with some foundations, and we don't want them here. We want it about 3 back. And we are going to start and just sort of push it back a little bit further, so it's about halfway. I don't want this foundation too low, because we'll be putting foundations behind it. Now we are going to be building this top down, and what I mean by that is we are building the attic first. So go around and place 4 walls like so, then 4 upper walls. Now I'm double walling. You do not have to double wall this. You can do whatever you like. I said I wouldn't use catwalks, so I am using a foundation to double wall. Go around and do that on all 4 sides. Now, to double wall these, we need to destroy them, so either by using a flamer trap or a friend in PvP, destroy the upper walls. I'm putting it on a roof like this, you'll see why. You can pick the roof up, just move it around. So just place 4 more walls, top walls facing outwards. Now we are not going to be able to take the walls off underneath unless we destroy the next 4 walls, top walls. So just go around and do exactly the same thing again until all the walls are destroyed on the top. And then we can just store the roof and it will store everything. And you should have something that looks like this. And now you can take these walls off underneath and have this floating thing here. Right. That was the foundation I used to double wall. We need to do some offsetting. And again, I said I would not be using catwalks, so here is what we're going to do. Take a staircase. We are going to be offsetting a foundation half in this direction. Now there is an old trick I will show you. You can place a half upper floor, then another staircase and a foundation, which will give you a half offset. But I'm going to show you a different way because we will be using this to also later on offset by a quarter. So you have a staircase, you have a half floor, you have a full floor. Now, because of the way the foundations snap to pillars, or pillars snap to foundations, they snap differently to upper floors. This position, the first position, if you attach the foundation below, that will be a quarter. This one, middle one, will be a half, and this one, the third position, will be 3/4. So you have a quarter, a half, and 3/4 offsets. We're doing a half, so it's the middle position. We're going to put a foundation here. It will snap in the middle where the pillar is. Remove all of this, the staircase and the pillar, and snap this foundation here. I'll turn it around. It's now half away from this. This is the middle one. I'm going to colour this one. This is the one that we built around to start with. I'm going to pull it towards this one. Right, we now need to do a half offset in this direction. So exactly the same thing. Might have a problem there. We'll do it on this one. A half upper floor. I'm trying to get it positioned so that you can see this line. I kind of think that might make more sense. A pillar on the halfway mark because we're doing a half. Remove all these pillars, upper floors and staircase. Place our foundation. Although we don't really need that one there. We're going to pull this one here this way. And this one is now the corner of the building because it is offset a half in both directions. If you see, it's a half this way and it's a half this way. Move these foundations back. And we now have a square building, or a square floor that is in the middle. The attic is in the middle of these 4 squares. The next thing we're going to do is add the door to the bathroom. And to do this, we are going to offset this foundation here by 1/4. Add a staircase, half upper floor, full upper floor. Add a pillar. In the first position, it's 1/4. Add your foundation. The reason I'm adding it on the outside is it will not go on the inside, so you have to add it on the outside. Remove these. And the pillar. You now have a foundation, 1/4 of a foundation away from this one. Pull this one towards you. Pull this one towards this and this one. We're now going to add a doorway. And a door. I use the circus trailer door. We are going to convert the doorway into a wall and remove it. We can now move these foundations back. To create the bathroom wall, we need to offset this foundation by 1/2. But there are a few problems with this one. We'll have to do a couple of other things. We are effectively going to be putting 2 walls in the middle of this foundation. If you do that, this wall, when you put your outside walls on, will not go on, so you have to put it on first. We don't have to worry about the outer wall because we're double walling, it's just the inside wall. Now, the other problem we're going to have is roofs, because roofs will not go over walls, so we have to put the roofs on now. Right, now you might foresee a problem with the staircase. There are 2 options here. One is that we lift this roof up and hopefully the staircase will go on. If your roof isn't lifting that way, you can put the staircase here, but it does mean your foundation, you'll have to step back one. Right. Half upper floor, full upper floor. We are doing half, so we want this pillar halfway along this floor. Remove all these. Pull this foundation this way, pull the one behind it this way. We can now put a double wall on. Pull them back. Because doors float, it's fine, you can move the foundations under them. We can get rid of these. And we can flatten the roof. Right, all we need to do now is put some walls on the outside. Go round, put walls on. and put a foundation down to double wall, and do that all the way around. If you ever get to a position where your foundation's too low and you can't get an outer foundation on, there is a quick trick. Place a door, any door, this works with any door. Place a door in a doorway. Change the doorway to a plain wall and remove it. Because doors have two snapping points, because they open, you can put them in frontwards or backwards, it means that you can put the wall on backwards. You can then remove the door, double wall, because the second doorway is snapping to the foundation. Next, I am going to put the balcony railings on. If you don't have the balcony set, one of the balcony foundation porch sets, whatever you want to call them, then just use a fence. Oh, apparently I've done something. I use these glass ones that were in the Atom store recently. I have been trying for months to make a blueprint to free place these, and I thought I had it recently. I thought there was no way that it wouldn't work, but it didn't work. So back to the drawing board. If you remove these porch foundations, you will now have these floating and you can put a regular foundation underneath like that. We can add some steps. Could have gone maybe a little bit further back, but we're okay. And we can add a few foundations at the back for the workshop. Right, I am going to go to my camp widget and repair all. And it's a matter of tidying up now. We need a roof on the top of here, so that should just snap straight in. Now, all of these walls, I use the Helvetia set. I'll show you why when I've finished. We need a window in here. Windows on all of the side walls. If you want a small window in your bathroom, put 2 half walls in. Flamer trap them, double wall, and then change the top wall to a small window. I'm an exhibitionist, as we've already established in previous videos. Right, and I don't normally put windows on the sides, but the reason I did was because I put that ladder at the back here. Go around and... oop, I didn't do the door. Go around and do the inside to match. should not be worth saying, but you know. Actually going to turn those into plain Helvetia walls, and that one. For the double wall here, if you want a white edge, you can change these to, I I usually use the Voltec one. I have a funny feeling it's not available in a doorway, so you have to change it to a plain wall and then... No, can't see it. There it is. And it gives a white edge. Like so. We need to do upstairs. I put windows on all four sides. And don't forget to do the inside so they're actually windows. Like so. I used this tile pretty much everywhere, this kind of orangey terracotta tile. And out here. Going to quickly... this is what I meant about the edges. They're much thicker than the barn walls, and I think it adds a nice sort of effect. So these need to be plain Helvetia walls. I mean, obviously, if you don't have these sets, then don't, you know, use something else. Wallpaper, obviously I used the red on top. And downstairs, inside and out, I used the white plank. Now this was a Amazon Prime reward. If you don't have it, then just use the plain cream. And if you don't have any wallpapers at all, don't worry about it. I think that's everything. No, I don't. Have I didn't turn this wall into a Helvetia wall. It's still a barn wall. Very easily done. You can see the effect. You get this really nice clean line along the top. Right, I think the only other thing I'm going to show you is, well, A, put a staircase here, B, doors. I used, obviously, the circus trailer door. I wanted to quickly show you how I did those little lights on the top. I used the light boxes, I used the small ones. Now you got to, because they each individually have to be wired up, you need to give enough clearance at the back so that you can get the wires in. So place a few of these, and you can change the colour of these as well. Not sure that's centred, but you know what I mean. Take a doormat. I like to use this black one. And small generator. If you don't have one of these, you can use the default one. There are now these ones as well. These ones will give off smoke, but it's up to you. You could stick a chimney on it, make it look like it's coming from that. Right, we're going to pick the mat up, which will take the generator. Find where the connector is. We are going to connect each one of these to the next one. And then to the generator. and this is an old trick. You basically select the mat, move it once, and you can move this through objects and it will stay connected. And we are going to just put it in the roof cubby thing, out of sight, and they will be lit up. And they're not badly on the centering. So obviously decorate, cover it in surfboards, whatever you want to do. I really like this build, it's fun, it's kind of, it's May now, it's almost summer. And yeah, I had a lot of fun building this. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.